Today we're doing some more testing. We're going to test how chain damage works, how defense down works, and what's the best optimal way to one-shot a boss. How can you maximize your damage? And it's a little wiggle showcase. If you like my videos and content, hit the sub button, hit the like button, hit that bell dingy dingy thing so you know when I post a video. Let's go, baby. Alright, we're going to do some damage tests on our sleepy boy Beowulf. We're going to try to see what we can maximize in damage. There's a couple things to know before you go in thinking to one-shot a boss. First of all, on round 1, your first turn, you have a total of 15 SP. This is for PvE, not in PvP, that's a whole different story. But you really gotta know what you can optimally do with 15 SP. If you're trying to maximize a physical attack damage dealer, like in my last video you saw you can buff stack, so you are going to want to do that. We would start out with Jaydens with 2 SP, attack buff, and crit rate buff. Second, you would use Samay if you have her costume maxed. 1 SP, 50% attack. So we're dealing with 12 SP left. We're going to showcase Wiggle today. At max costume, he is 3 SP. These are my Wiggle stats right now. Free to play crappy life, right? I'm almost able to craft SR gear, so hopefully I'll get some upgrades. 630 attack, 158% crit damage. Because yes, Wiggle can crit. If I'm running Jaydens, then I just gotta get that lucky crit. Now you have 9 SP left with 2 monsters. What we're gonna test today is either A, is chain damage better, or B, is a defense down with a lot of chain damage better. Now ultimately it's hard for me to honestly test this, because I don't have the 2 characters that I want max costume. What I would like to optimally have to test out max chain damage. I'd like to have Celia who attacks 7 times. I'm pretty sure her SP goes down to 4 if she's max costume. I can't check because the collection book doesn't show me. But I'm pretty sure she gets down to SP of 4. If not, somebody correct me. Leatrice attacks 5 times. That would be a chain damage of 12 between Celia and Latrice. I believe Leatrice's SP would go down to 5. Again, someone tell me if I'm wrong. But 5 plus 4 equals 9, and that would be a maximum chain. But what I can test today is using someone like Celia and then bringing in a 3 SP unit that has a higher amount of attacks. In this instance, this would be Justia. I have her can-do costume at +3 and its SP of 3 attacks. So this is one test I'm going to try. The other test that I want to try is using Cry because of his defense down and he attacks twice. The problem with me as well is that my Cry is not at +3. Right now he's at SP of 5 and I really need him at +3 of SP of 4. So I can use a 5 SP unit that has multiple attacks, which would be Celia or Leatrice. But unfortunately I cannot do that. So we're just going to get a low SP high attack person to see what the damage is going to be. Is a defense down with a little bit of chain damage better than high chain damage? All we're really focusing on here is seeing how much damage we can do. Let's buff the attack of Wiggle and the crit rate. We're also going to buff the attack again because buff stacks. Next we're going to decrease that defense with Cry, which also attacks 2 times. Then attack 3 more times with Justia, which will have a chain damage of +5. And then we'll use Wiggle as an attack. Let's hope Wiggle crits. Alright, I got Justia in the middle. I got it on ×1 even though it's like a sloth. We're going to get the buffs up, buff that Wiggle up, get that crit rate buff, get the Cry defense down and 2 chain damage on the boss. Then we got Justia in her short skirt, hitting 3 times. Now we have a chain damage of 5. And now we got Wiggle throwing in the bomb to get how much damage? 15,500. That is no crit. So we will record until we get a crit. Alright, let's slow it down. Let's see what Wiggle got. Come on, baby. Make sure to crit this time. Let's go. More than 15,000. Go. 40,245. Pretty big hit from Wiggle. obviously dealing with the gear that I have. So instead of bringing Cry this time, I'm going to bring Celia to see if the chain damage is actually going to be better. All right, so we got Celia in here. We don't have a defense down this time, but we're going to have double attack buff, and then Cecilia attacks 7 times. Justia attacking 3 with a times 10 chain damage, and we'll see what kind of damage Wiggle will do. All right, let's get these times 7s off from Celia. Then we got Short Skirt Justia coming in with the 3 more. And let's see what Wiggle can do. Come on, baby. Let's see a big crit right off the bat. 53,000. Wow. Looks like chain damage is actually better. Now, this could be a reason like Beowulf has less defense, or maybe no defense at all. I really couldn't tell you what any of this means. I'll try to figure it out. So like I confirmed here, Beowulf has 0 defense. This is the same symbol that has defense. These are the stats on my Fred, so bringing Cry to Beowulf isn't really a thing. So I gotta find some kind of boss that has defense. That chain damage definitely put out more damage than a Cry. So unfortunately, because I'm not max costume, there's not much I can do past this point. But I just wanted to showcase the difference between chain damage and defense down, and how much damage Wiggle can put out with average free-to-play player gear. Alright, here's a monster that has defense. Lizard Man Shield Bearer. He has 35% defense. Now he's water, so hopefully it doesn't mess with any actual data, because I think it's just going to make Wiggle do less damage. I'm just trying to see if there's more damage output for defense or chain damage. We'll do both attack buffs, and then we'll just do Wiggle just to see what kind of damage he can do. Alright, let's slow this down and see what he does without the defense break. Let's go Wiggle, boom, 3,378. Alright, let's try it again one more time. Let's go 8719. So 8719 crit without defense down. Alright, 8719 crit. Let's see what we get with defense down. There we go. He did not die, thank goodness. So let's see what kind of crit we can get. That's a no crit of 6236. But this also has 2 chain damage too. You gotta think about that. So many variables. We're looking for a crit, Wiggle. Come on, boy. I accidentally killed the last group. So let's see if we can do this again. Same guy, shield bearer, 35% defense. Let's hope we get a crit. Cry keeps killing this boy on a crit, and I'm about to take his gear off. Alright, here we go. Come on, Wiggle. Crit, baby. Let's go. Give me the big crit numbers. No. Alright, Wiggle. Please do not crit. No, please crit. Please crit. Please crit. No. I jinxed myself. I gotta take Cry's gear off him because he keeps one-shotting that monster. Now I gotta find another lizard man, and there isn't one here. Things I gotta do for content. Alright, here's the lizard man, my boy. Come on, Wiggle. Do your thing, baby. Crit. Crit. 16,098. Now we bring Celia in instead of the defense down and see what is better against a high defensive unit. Oh, by the way, if you didn't know, this only works in manual farming, but you can switch out characters while you're in battle. You gotta click this little face down here in the bottom left. Then you can select the character that you want and replace it with the one. The more you know. I gotta play with the game a little bit here because I gotta use Justia to knock back the lizard man. Let's hope we get a crit in the very first one. Alright, let's get our buffs for Wiggle. Let's knock back that lizard man. Let's get Celia to do her thing. And let's see what Wiggle can do on higher chain damage. Crit? No. And it looks like just by looking at the non-crit damage that it was lower compared to the non-crit damage of the defense down. It's going to be hard to say exactly how much chain damage you need when comparing chain damage and defense down. But let's see what the crit's going to be. On a chain 8, what do we have for a crit with Wiggle? We get 15,694. So it wasn't too far off with the defense down with Cry. But you're gonna need to get a high chain damage multiplier. More than 8, obviously. But I'm definitely thinking that Araness Sam May is a definite 2 spot. And then Wiggle that 3rd for that 1-shot damage. I think there's a couple different people you can use to maximize damage, for chain damage specifically. We talked about Celia attacking 7 times, Leatrice attacking 5 times, but there's also Gray's second costume, which attacks 5 times as well. We also have Anastasia's second costume, which attacks 5 times, and I'm pretty sure that this SP would go down to 3. That would be amazing and it'd be super huge. Moral of the story, to one-shot bosses on round 1, Aaroness, Sammy, and Wiggle. You got 9 SP left, 2 spots. But in my opinion, because these 2 characters are in the pub, Celia and Leatrice, I think this will be the most reasonable once you max out their costume. Or if you're fighting a very high defense boss, then maybe Cry would come into play. A lot more testing in the future once I get some maxed out costumes, obviously. And that 50k damage, I mean, this is with rare equipment. Give me a break, please. That's it for today's video. Just wanted to showcase chain damage versus defense down. Showcase my boy Wiggle. S tier 3-star for sure. If you like all my videos and content, sub, like, ding ding a bell. I'll see you in the next one. Peace!